does Sondheim give you to launch from? You have leave you, and then what do you have?
How?
How could I leave you? That's the question. And he even did that in the music. How could I leave you? Do, 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 ba. You know, that's where the beat is. If you sing it straight through, it doesn't pack that punch. It's the, I'm asking the question, boom, ba-no-no-do, right? Okay, start again. I'm Laura Wayth, and I'm an assistant professor in the School of Theatre and Dance and teach all levels of acting. I love it here. This is the fourth university I've taught at full time, and this is just a really special place for me. And it's special because of the kind of students that come here. It's a diverse student body, and I think, especially in theater, you just gain so much more out of a community that has different voices and different experiences. And we have a real emphasis on creating our own work. And that's one of the things that I find very special about this program. A lot of other programs are saying, look, this is what's going on in the world out there. Let's fit into their model. Here's how you audition, and so that somebody else will give you a job. We train students to think like theater makers so that they go out and make their own opportunities. All of the books that I write are really coming out of my students' questions and the things that scare them. My most recent book that I've written is called The Shakespeare Audition, and I wrote it specifically for my students because my students are terrified of classical auditions, and classical auditions being Shakespeare or writers of Shakespeare's ilk is something that all actors need to explore at some point, and they're terrified of it. It feels so distant from who they are and the way they speak that they really just shut down. So I wrote a guide for actors from sourcing material, how do you find a proper monologue or soliloquy that suits you, that resonates with you, to how do you break down the text, how do you analyze the poetry, teaching them a little bit about scansion and rhetorical forms and how they can understand that structure. And then how can you have a successful audition with it? So that's a lot of steps, but hopefully it gets through to the actor in a way that isn't scary. And how does it relate to the themes that I explore? It's about the truth. Because the problem with Shakespeare is that so many actors see it as being separate from themselves. They see the language as being something ancient that lives in a museum, when it really is the ultimate human truth. Shakespeare wrote about human experience.
Yeah, you really connect when you sing. It's beautiful. It's wonderful that you do that.
This is a class called The Singing Actor, and it's a pilot class. It's brand new. Most of my other classes are acting classes, scene study classes.
So can you just sing all night? And you gotta lift that up. Okay. All night. Listen to that.
This is a class that I teach jointly through the School of Theatre and Dance, and there's a section of it through the music department. What we're doing in this class is we're working on songs as musical texts. So we're not as concerned with what's going on musically or with vocal production as what is the story being told here, and how do you communicate this lyric. And then we're also looking at what is the musical conversation that's going on. Because it isn't, when you sing, it isn't just the text. There's this whole musical score, in this case not an orchestra, but just the piano underneath it that's informing it. The piano is telling them something that really gives them a lot of information about what their character is doing and how their character is trying to affect another character. For me, teaching and my research are the same. Because when I learn something from my students, and I learn from them all the time, it's not a one-way street of me imparting things to them. I learn every day from them, and I'm a much better artist because of them, because of the conversations that we have. So those things go together really well. And I just think that ultimately all of this is a conversation, you know, and I'm a facilitator of a conversation.